What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Darius Allen. I've been going for a while, but we back at it again, and I will be consistent. So be looking out for more videos. I just wanted to cover this one little reaction video and give some advice to this young lady. This young lady, for some context here, she was laid off from her job, and she's been out of work for about 9 or 10 months or something like that. I'll give credit to the creator here in the box down below. But her YouTube is Life&Numbers, and she's very open with her numbers and her finances and everything she's doing. So I credit her for that. That she's willing to be vulnerable out here and share that information. So again, she says she's been out of work for about 9-10 months. She has some savings, but she's also been making some income from I think her YouTube content. She kind of went viral off of that first video saying she got laid off and what her plans were and etc. So without further ado, I'll be cutting in and out through the video, and we won't watch the whole thing. It's like 20 minutes long. If you want to see the full video again, go ahead and watch it. I'll share the link down below. But without further ado, let's get it.
So let's start at the very beginning, because it's a very good place to start. Starting out in October, I have a balance in my checking account of $4,416.47. That is a high balance, thankfully. But it's high because, like I just said, I didn't have to pay my mortgage in September. So I already had the money there. Like, I was prepared to pay it in September, but I didn't have to. So that money just stayed. And I also had some like leftover money from like ad revenue, and some people bought things from my like digital store that I have. So I had finally, like, I had some disposable income in September. So that is the starting balance that I have in my checking account at the beginning of October. And that is the money that I lived off of in September. So my other bills that I still have to pay, groceries. I did do a little bit of traveling in September, as you will see in later videos that are coming out this month. So stay tuned for those if you want to see where I went and what I did. So that's the amount that I'm starting out with. Now, just to make things easier, I like talking about all of my income that's going to hit in the month of October.
I'm going to pause right there. Traveling. Now, if you don't have income coming in, ma'am, why are you traveling? And again, no disrespect to you. Again, I appreciate you putting out this video, being vulnerable and everything. Again, I'm just giving you a critique and share how I would do things. If I don't have any income, significant income, meaning a big chunk of income to cover my finances, I'm not traveling. It's not happening. It's not happening at all. So she goes through her numbers. Let's see if I can skip through here and find where she talks about the actual expenses. Let's find it here.
Taking my grocery amount back to its original, and do 300 for groceries. So sorry, doing this in real time, I guess. So groceries, $300. Energy bill, I got that to go down a little bit, and that's down to $97 a month. My health insurance, that stays the same, so I'm paying for private health insurance. It's not a good quality health insurance. It's really just to help me not.
Health insurance. I mean, everybody needs it, but in her situation, I probably would not be paying for private insurance. It's until I get a job. Until I get a job, I mean, I'm not sure. She might have some personal health situations that we don't know about, right? So I'm not going to mark her for that. But again, it's a huge part of her budget, and it's eating away at her savings. Well, she hasn't tapped into her savings yet. She talks about that in the video, but it's messing up what she has currently, and eventually she will be going negative unless she receives some more income. But again, it's unknown. She doesn't have a definite know of how much she's going to make the next month. So, I mean, we've been through it. I've been through it personally. My family, we went years, literally years without health insurance. Just for my wife and I, the kids were covered through the state. They try to make sure all kids are covered. So we made sure just they were covered for those several years where we just didn't even have enough money to cover insurance through our jobs. Like, that's how broke we were. It's another video, but literally went from earning $10,000 to increasing within the past 5 years my income about 86% or something like that. So I've just been busy hustling, working on the job, staying late, all that kind of stuff to make sure we're in the right place. So that's why I've been gone. But yeah, back to the insurance stuff. Like, that's a lot of money to be coming out of your account when you do not have a job. And what most of that private stuff is through, like, if you lose your job or whatever, they offer it through Cobra, I believe. That's like the main one, I think, and it's very expensive. I remember when I had quit one of my jobs a long time ago, it was like 2-3 times the amount of what it was if we had the standard coverage through the employer. Absolutely not happening.
Happens to me, and I do need to like go to the hospital, but it's not the best quality health insurance. But it's still $350 a month. My water bill's $54 a month. I am still paying for the gym. There's a lot of, I see y'all in the comments. I don't respond to every single comment, but I do see comments, and I know that there's people who think that I shouldn't be paying for the gym. For people who do go to the gym, though, they often say that it's like a mental benefit as well as a physical benefit. And I agree. So that's why I've kept it all these months. Yeah, the thing about personal finance is,
And I agree. I'm a person, and regular gym goer. It's definitely good for your mental and physical health. $25 a month for a gym membership. No, I'm not tripping about that. However, ma'am, I do remember you had you were paying for like Pilates class or something like that. I believe you were paying more. So I'm glad you cut that out. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure your last budget video that I saw, you had something like that. You were paying for that and the gym, and I was like, oh, you better cut that down. And it looks like you did cut it down. So good on you. Smart move. That's probably what I did a lot sooner, but it looks like you eventually did do it. So that's cool. All right. So she went through her numbers there a little bit. Let's see if we can find where she talked about some other stuff. She went through more of her expenses, which we see there. I have a copy of it. She talked about some travel plans and some other things. So, I mean, that's pretty much her video. So I put something together. And again, you can go check the whole video. I've got an ad popped up. Yeah, I don't have YouTube TV. I'm cheap. Or the YouTube Pro, whatever it's called. I ain't paying for that. No subscriptions. Very minimal subscriptions. I'll be going through my budget later another time. So here's all her numbers that she laid out. Her starting balance, her income that she received through content creation, and also her little side hustle for being a virtual assistant. I guess I need to share my screen, right? Here we go. So here's all her numbers. If you can see that there, I'll zoom in a little bit. Yeah, right there. So she went through all of this. So that mortgage, is high. And again, the only reason her mortgage is high is because she put very little down, like 10% or something like that. Less than 10% maybe, if I'm not mistaken. I will always tell you, put 20% down. 20% or more so that this number goes down. Because one thing that we know for certain, this number is going to go up. Because what's always going to go up? Taxes and insurance. Unless you play the game where you bounce around for an insurance company every year. Something that I do. And maybe I could talk about that in another video. Because these insurance companies, man, they like to get you in with a low offer. And then the very next year, they bump it up. So, but yeah, all this other stuff is pretty standard. Now this traveling again. She traveled. She spent $800. If you don't have significant income coming in other than your savings or stuff like that, we're not doing that. That's not happening. Just like your shirt says, maybe you just need to be still. You gotta be still. You gotta be still. So I look at her total expenses and what she has left over at the end of the month. $1,085. So even if this comes in and that comes in for a virtual assistant job, she's looking at being negative based off her current flow, right, of expenses. Well, if we take away travel, that doesn't happen every month. So even if we take that away, $4,325, still short, right? So this is what I would recommend. Here's my numbers. A little bit more sacrifice. Right now, you don't have income. I'm not paying the CC debt. You can always get your score up. My score was trash back in the day. It was somewhere. It was a number that didn't even exist on the score card. It was probably like 300 or something like that. It was bad. All right. You can always get it back. All right. Once you have significant income coming in, but you got to think about yourself first. And this is why I would cut off the credit card. So that's $200 back in your pocket right now. Yes, the debt's there. Yes, but don't stress about it. That should encourage you and push you more to go and start applying for many jobs. Tweak that resume, tweak the dates a little bit so it's more recent. Find something immediate so at least you have something coming in. I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't know if you're spending 4 to 5 hours a day submitting your resume, submitting applications, but if I were in your situation, man, that's what I would be doing. Seriously. Student loans, forget about it. Not happening. Not getting paid. You're not getting paid. Sorry. I don't have money coming in right now. I don't have significant money coming in right now to pay anything. And again, the third one, travel. All right. No, that's out the window. And if I want to save an additional $30, I would probably cut out security. But I know that you're a single woman and you're living in that big old house by yourself, which that's a different topic for a conversation. But I don't think any single person should be living or buying a house. Buying a house for families, for someone that's going to stay in one space. If you just had a rental apartment, you could easily go back to your parents or just stop paying the rent, move out, whatever the situation may be. But you got a big, huge asset that you're stuck with. And I wouldn't recommend that buying a house as a single woman. That's for families. That's for a husband and a wife and kids. If you got kids, a single mother with kids, okay, yes, you need a house. Yeah, that's a different story. But for single women, I don't necessarily agree with that. People might hit me for that. I don't care. That's just look at the situation, because a house is meant for two incomes, so that if one happens to get laid off or loses their job or some health situation comes on, that other income is there. Now you might have to pull back a little bit, but at least that other income is still there, right? So I would maybe cut out that security. If I were you, give you an extra $30, some little wiggle room, but we can leave it there just because I am understanding of your situation and that you're the only person living in a house without any pets or like a pit bull or something like that for additional security. So, but again, you would have $2,615. And if you cut everything else out, you wouldn't be too far off from your total expenses that you need. All right. So let's look at projected for November. All right. So following your expenses and what you're spending and your starting balance, right? And I even bumped you up graciously for content creation. And it looks like your virtual assistant side gig is pretty consistent at $300 a month. So I left that there. Your expenses, again, $4,325. Okay. Now if we cut it out insurance, that high payment, again, I know you want to leave it. That's fine. I don't agree, but you would be at a healthier amount. You would only be off $790 negative. Okay. But we'll keep it. So 1,140. Now here are my numbers. All right. You cut out certain things. If you didn't travel, your starting balance would be here. Your content creation, again, bumped you up a couple $100 or something like that. And it's consistent on the virtual assistant. expenses, boom, you pay for. You pay for in that month of November. And you would have what am I going to say, $814 left over. Now, we don't know what's coming in, right? So you may be blessed and you may get something more. You'll get over $1,000. I hope you do. You get over $1,000 more that comes in. But right now we don't know, and that's unknown. I never like to play off the unknowns. I like to play off the knowns. And then if I have money, right, I can take risks into the unknowns. But if we're in this type of situation where we don't have money coming in and I don't have a job, oh, no. We don't have time to play around and risk traveling. Okay. We don't have time to be paying our debts. We don't have the money. We don't have money coming in. I'm not paying it. Sorry. You can always boost back your credit. If you don't plan on buying a big asset, which I believe your car's paid off, and you just have a house, you already have the house, you don't need credit for anything right now. We are so attached to credit. And for what? Oh, I don't want my credit score to go down. It doesn't matter. If you already have your big asset, you already have the house, we don't need to be stressed about credit at all for anything else. So in these types of situations, cut it out. I would just cut it out. So by November, you would have $814. So you wouldn't be negative as here. You'd be in the positive, right? So then let's just say if we kept it consistent, already at your negative, I bumped you up to 2,000 for your content creation. Again, the same for where if you kept your current expenses, you'll be negative $3,165. And I remember you did say you had some savings. That amount, I don't think you've shared. So I don't know that number, but now we're digging into savings. Now it's really crunch time. The alarm should already be going off, right? All right. So versus my number here, $787 for December. $787? You can come up with $787 like that, right? Like you'd be in the positive with your starting balance by December 2000. And again, that's if you didn't travel. It's already done, so you can't go back. But if we had not traveled, we cut out our CC debt, we cut out the student loans, you would only be negative $787 by December. And so that means you only have to take out $787 for out of your savings. Okay. So it is what it is. I just wanted to give my little review on that. This is emergency. I got to get some money today type situation. So hopefully you're putting out resumes, applications, you know, at least like a part-time job, Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 hours a day, applying to jobs, tweaking that resume for each job, writing a cover letter, doing the extra stuff, going above and beyond. But I hope you do find a job soon, ma'am. I appreciate you being vulnerable. This is no diss to you at all. I just want to make that clear. I just want to share how I would have done things. So that's it for today, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.